I don't know if I could have done this without ListingPro. I think I would have had to. Ooh. Well, I'm a marriage and family therapist over here, and I've got an office in Sacramento and in Roseville. So, as a therapist, one of the primary ways people find clients is through directories like the one I've created. There are a lot of good therapists in my area, but a lot of people have difficulty actually finding clients. Nowadays, one of the primary ways people find therapy is through Google or just searching on the internet. So there are lots of other sites out there, but the primary ones that people use currently are these big like international organizations. So it's harder in a way for people to find what they're looking for because they have to go through a site and potentially wade through lots of other listings. And I kind of saw a potential for me to kind of exploit a hole in the market where if I do something more local, then theoretically it should pop up in search engines better. I've been doing a lot of SEO work over the years to get my website to rank. So I know a lot of that stuff, and I was trying to find some way to take it up another level and do something else with that. When I first started out, I spent a good 3 or 4 weeks looking at all the different options. I checked out 4 or 5 other themes. I tried a couple plugins, but there were a couple I tried for a few days or something, and they seemed really limited. I spent a lot of time researching and found ListingPro, and it looked really good. And I spent some time working with it, and it just seemed like a really good fit. It was actually really funny because when I first started out, some of it seemed a little too good to be true, and there was a while, I think it was like a good 6 months before I was like really sure I wasn't getting scammed, because I was like, whew, this thing does a lot of stuff. So yeah. I just know that I went through a good, like, it was at least a 3-week process. And it was kind of frustrating because what would happen is I'd pick a theme or a plugin, I'd try it out, and then after like 3 or 4 days, it would become really obvious that it just wasn't going to work, or it was too complicated, or it required a lot of code, and ListingPro was just simple and pretty all-inclusive. It had everything I needed just right there, and I didn't really need any code, and actually once I got further in and I did need some code on occasion, I just kind of contacted support and they helped me out with it. That was one of the first ones that I was thinking, like, is this for real? Because I know, like, all the other ones, I was really confused when I first started. Everybody would talk about, I can't remember what that one was called. WooCommerce, yes. There was WooCommerce and, like, 2 other plugins that everybody uses, and I was looking, and WooCommerce on its own, I think, was something like $600 a year or something. And ListingPro, when I bought it, I think was $69. And it seems to do everything that I would need through WooCommerce. Well, so I designed my own website before. It was nothing in comparison to what I've made now with ListingPro. But so I had some experience in website building, so I knew I could do the website part. I just didn't know anything about the listing portion of it. I met somebody online up in Portland who actually had done exactly what I was aiming to do. And I talked to him, and he gave me a price range of what he thought he spent, and he said it took like 2 years to make it. In my office in Roseville, right across the hall, there's another guy that does coding, and he makes websites for a living. And I presented the idea to him and everything, and he essentially said that he could make a bare bones version of what I was looking for $40,000. Yeah. I decided to just kind of try it myself, just something really basic. ListingPro had a lot of ability for me to customize everything. I quickly saw that I could make it look actually really good. So I needed to get some custom coding to get some of the stuff I wanted, but in general, it was really easy to make it look good. That's actually a good one because having made the website has actually helped my my professional career too. Because what's happened is I'm trying to create a directory of therapists for my community. So now more and more therapists in the area know me. I've been getting referrals from people I haven't actually personally met. Now I work on my site in my extra time. but it's set up now so that, you know, there's nothing pressing that I have to do. It's just going to slowly grow itself. They're these like national big companies. They all typically charge around 30 a month. So I'm charging people 15, but because I know it's going to take some time for it to get ranking in Google, I told everybody it was free pretty much for the first 10 months. I haven't had that many problems. It's the problems I've run into have more so been things I want to customize or that I'm being just a perfectionist about that I want to change. The only time I've run into trouble, it's kind of just been by my own design. It's been something I wanted to do that maybe ListingPro wasn't originally designed to do. No, I've spent a lot of time looking at it. I'd really like to upgrade to it. The new dashboard looks good. I like the idea that there's the coupon system. Users can add their own events to their listings. That looks really good. And then it looked like there was an upgrade to the search system, which could be good. Well, and that's another thing. It's like there's a lot of things in ListingPro that I know I haven't fully explored yet. You know, like I totally messed up the features thing. That was a big mistake. Looking back, like I would like to use it. I just messed it up. The site clearly does like add to something to the community and is there to help people. I've actually had people I haven't met who have reached out to me and thanked me for making it. It's been an odd experience because I've had all these times where I've been unsure if if I'm making a good product or if it's going to be received well, and people just write to me and like, hey, thanks for doing this. You have to stop and think about like how would you find a therapist, you know, if something was wrong, you know, if you had PTSD or an anxiety issue or you were severely depressed or somebody in your family died. So with a site like this, like Sac Wellness, you can go on, you say specifically what you're looking for. You can see all the therapists and scroll through them and find somebody who seems like a good fit for you and contact them and work it out. It makes it it really simplifies the process. Part of why I'm able to make this successful right now, I think, is because I've built myself up in the community as a therapist. I've been working in some way as a therapist for like 8 years. I've only been licensed for 4, but I know a lot of people. I have connections. I've had times where I've wondered like, oh man, should I have done this back when I was in college and I had more free time or something? And I've ultimately come down to the fact that I couldn't have, because ListingPro wouldn't have been around. There are other themes and plugins. I guess I probably could have tried to figure out something else, but this definitely seemed like the best option. Well, so if you're looking for a therapist in the greater Sacramento area, Sac Wellness can help you find exactly what you're looking for. You can go to the site and search for therapists by the specific issue you're looking for help with, what insurance they take, where they're located. The site's pretty easy to use. You just go to the home page and type in what you're looking for. So when you get to the search bar, you just select therapists or groups and search from there. sacwellness.com.